gotten here, you haven't been free to have your guys run that help and recover defense. Trap the ball, sprint back to your man, and rotate. What happened in the second half where the communication, just fell off?
Yeah, we wasn't on our A game when it came to that. Getting the ball stopped and rotating out there, and give those guys credit. They made plays when it counted.
Coach, KB talked about in the second half how the energy seemed to kind of fall after the first half. What do you think went on there?
Well, I think, and it's something we've been fighting all year long. I think when the ball is going in for us, like most people, when good things are happening, you get excited and got more energy and effort. And when that didn't happen for us in the second half, if guys made a mistake or missed a shot, just drop their head and next play, just keep playing. And we just couldn't find a way to get out of our own way.
Aaron, these two games against Houston, what has been the thing you've learned about your team where it's like, okay, this is the type of competition we hope to be playing later on down the line, and the side got prepared for them in the future?
I think all of the games that we play against in conference and throughout college basketball, teams play hard and they get after you. And we get after them. We know how those guys play. I've been around Kelvin for a while, and the type of effort and intensity his team is going to bring. We have to match that and exceed it. We have to be able to do it for 40 minutes, and we didn't do that. We did it for 20 minutes. We wasn't perfect in the first half. We made a ton of mistakes, but we were able to come and have a lead, and in the second half we lost it. And it's been a theme of ours where we can play good for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and it's those segments of the game. And I thought the start of the second half was that segment for us, and everybody heads dropped, and they kept fighting. They kept fighting, and it's part of their growth where you got to learn how to get through all of that.
Obviously, you never get comfortable against a team like that, but at halftime, was that something you were kind of maybe fearing because the pace of this game was so much different than a couple of weeks ago, where shots were falling? Is that always in the back of your mind? Like, I wonder how these guys are going to respond if the shots stop falling or what happens to that?
Yeah, those guys have been around the block. Most of the guys on their roster, they've been in situations like this today at halftime. They've taken every team's best shot. So it's nothing new to those guys. They keep their poise and they continue to play on. And what I try to get the guys to understand is a lot of the mistakes that we made in the first half, although we had the lead, that lead could have been extended. And maybe in those instances you buy yourself a little bit more time. But that's a really good team. And I feel like we're a good team. And these are learning lessons for us where we got to figure out a way to stay focused and play hard for 40 minutes.
Do you think there's anything more? Do you think there's anything more?
Dropping in the second half. I mean, there was so much to play for, and so much at stake in this game. Like share the confidence, go through and save it. How do you make sure that the bigger head drop doesn't happen the rest of the way? They still have things to play for.
Yeah, and that's what I discussed with them when I went in the locker room. I thought you guys fought, and it's just that the kids want to win. They want to win, and sometimes they don't know how to handle their emotions. And for most of you that are parents, when you tell your kids no, they drop their head, they get upset, and they want to do well, they want to do right, and that's part of the thing that I'm talking to them about. Is just keep the focus, and you make a mistake or a bad play, just move on to the next play so you don't get distracted by what happened beforehand.
You think you could have done anything differently or defensively against Walker in the first half?
I just thought he made some high-level plays. I mean, it's just one of the threes he hit. The clock was going down. We were there. We were contesting. Some of the baskets that he made was tough. He's a really good player, and you don't want to overreact to that. He made shots, and so he was on the board, and he said, we said he's one of the guys that we got to make sure we run off of that three-point line. But, the sort of defense that we play when we get caught in rotation, sometimes that's pretty much what you're gonna give up. So he made plays. He made plays for those guys, and when it worked for us the first time we played us, had those same shots, didn't make them, and he made them today. And I thought that was the difference.
Second half, was there too much of maybe guys looking to run the guys off the 3-point line and almost getting off balance, and then because it was a lot of then drives right in where it had to draw the big man, and then the other big guy got a dunk layup.
No, it's what they do, and I just didn't think we were connected enough. We wanted to run those guys off the 3-point line, but the next man has to be in rotation to protect against that. And sometimes you can get spooked when a guy makes a shot, or the guy that your guard make a shot. You probably stay closer and forget about the rotation. But we were just a step slow getting out and stopping the ball. We typically try to get the ball stopped, especially when Sasser is in the play. And we just didn't do a good job with that, and it caused a chain reaction for us, where we're running and we're closing out the shooters and then dropping it off for layups. So it happens. The guys have been really good defensively today. For 20 minutes, it just wasn't the case.
With Dame, it's weird to see him shoot as many threes, more than twos, and not go to the line as much. I guess what would you want to change from, his performance? And it seemed like it was tough all night to drive to the bucket on them.
I wouldn't say that. One team or the other have to dictate policy out there. You got to say that, because those guys put their heads down and they would just drive it to the basket. And really, that's what we wanted to do: drive. We wanted to attack the paint. I thought we did a good job of it in the first half, where we were attacking the paint, kicking, and we got some good looks. But again, it's one of those things where we didn't consistently do it enough. Those guys got layups and free throws and all of those things, and we fight to get 3-point shots, and that's not the way you want to try to beat a team. We got lucky in the first half. We made some shots. The second half, it didn't happen. And when you get in those sort of situations, you want to attack the basket, drop it off, attack the basket, try to get to the free throw line, and we didn't do enough of it, and they did more of it than us.
Aaron, it seems like every time Jamil steps on the floor, teams are double teaming him. Is there any other ways you can scheme them open? There's only so much pick and roll and Malone actions that you can run. And the teams are still going to come down there. Is there anything you can do about that?
We tried to get them the ball in the middle of the floor, because that's what they do. They double team the post. I'm sure Jamil's a skilled offensive player. The team's going to double. It's just our spacing and getting to spots, and he's got to get comfortable with being double teamed and be poised and be able to get that ball out of there. But he has to fight for position down there, and to me, it's no different than a guard running a ball screen, and he gets doubled. So when you get out of there, you put teams in rotation. So it's something that we worked on all week. We knew they was going to come in and double them. And so we talked about trying to get them the ball in the middle of the floor, but we didn't do enough of it, getting them the ball in the middle of the floor.
Aaron, after that start in the second half, you guys were maybe run out of assuming they get some momentum, then they come down a big basket or what happened. How tough was it for you guys to kind of keep fighting through that?
Yeah, I believe it was a Walker 3. I think we had just scored and made some free throws, and they came down and we had a switch. And again, it was one of those contested shots. It was a tough shot. He made it, he had it going on, and I think he gave those guys life. We felt like if we could keep our defense in front of them, in front of us, in front of those guys, we'll give ourselves a pretty good shot. But they got loose on us, and we had some uncharacteristic turnovers, some live ball turnovers, and that gives teams juice, where you can get a pick six and go get an easy layup here, get some free throws there. That's hard to bounce back for a team, especially when you're fighting for points.
Coach, it was your 100th game as the head coach of Temple. Kelvin Sampson, when he was in here, he went out of his way to praise you for what you've done from the start of Temple to now. He said John Chaney would be proud of you as well. Just going from where you were to playing in front of a sellout crowd against the number 3 ranked team in the nation. Just can you talk about the growth over your 100 games here at Temple?
It's been a journey, to say the least. I think what I've learned a lot about being a head coach is you want your guys to be a reflection of you. And just the way I'm wired, you think you're gonna walk in the gym and right away it's gonna be that. And it just doesn't work like that, and you fight for it every day. You fight to get those kids to be better. And you want them to leave out of here better than when they arrive. individuals, as productive citizens in society, and it's work. So we put our boots on and our helmets and dig our heels in the sand, and we get to work every day and just try to grow each one of those individuals. And I think when you do that, the wins and everything else that I'm looking for will come. I think it was like really emotional time for me, just coming out and just seeing the energy in the building and just the excitement around the game. It was pretty cool to see. For the 3 years that I played here, I've never played in front of a crowd that big, so pretty cool to see. And I hope our guys enjoyed it. We didn't get the result that I was looking for, or we were looking for, but it's something to continue to work for.
Is there any concern that, maybe the crowd doesn't get back to that point for the rest of the regular season, or is that something you just can't worry about?
Yeah, I try to control what I can control. I don't worry about that, but it was good to see this, just the student body and the fan base and everybody out to support us. It was cool to see.
Question. I got one. You guys had 2 field goals within like the first 9 minutes of the second half. What happened there? Did they give you different looks, or was it poor execution?
Both. I thought they came out really aggressive against us, which didn't surprise me at all. But we just had the live ball turnovers, and that doesn't help your cause when you just hand it to the other team and they can go down and score the ball. You don't want to give them anything easy, especially a team like that. So I don't know if there's anything else I could have done different in that situation. It's just action, reaction, and it didn't go well for us with those first couple minutes of the second half.
Coach, would you say that their defensive pressure in the second half really seemed like they turned it up? Do you think that led to your guys being not just more tired on the offensive end and getting open looks, but more tired on the defensive end and letting them get open looks on the other end?
No, we didn't. I thought they turned their intensity up. It's more about just making the plays. We wasn't like staring at those guys and watching them take shots. Again, you get caught in rotation sometimes, and it's how it happens. You can't plug up all the holes, and we just didn't do a good enough job. We didn't react fast enough as we normally do, and let's give them credit. I mean, they got good individual players, good shooters, and they had to change their rotation a little bit to match up against what we were doing defensively, where they put in a couple other shooters other than having those big guys in there in the game. So, and that's game planning. It worked for us in the first half, and it didn't so much in the second half.
Thanks.